My man, Timmy McKeever. How you doing, bud?
Good, how are you?
Happy
Good.
release week, bro. How's it
Appreciate
going?
you. Dude, it's good. It's been a whirlwind the past few weeks,
I
but
bet.
yeah, it's exciting. A little nerve-wracking, but yeah, I'm stoked.
Yeah, how excited are you to have this project out? Devils and Angels,
Yeah.
7-song album, your debut record, man. Like big step for the kid, man.
Yeah, it's honestly crazy. I had a little bit of like a freak out yesterday. I was like, holy shit.
Like
Hey, can I cuss?
Oh,
on here?
you say whatever you want,
Okay,
bud. You got the folks that are
Perfect.
gonna give you a look
Yeah.
if you say something wrong over there. So just look over there. You're good.
Perfect.
I'm good with you saying whatever,
Hell yeah.
dog.
All right, yeah. So it's been crazy because I mean I've been working on this music like the oldest. I wrote the first song off this record like 2 years ago. So it's been a long time coming with this
Yeah.
this project. So I'm excited that it's finally gonna be out, but I'm also nervous because I'm like I've only put out singles up
Yeah.
until now. So putting out all this music at the same time is it's definitely a little nerve wracking, but I mean.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah, and it's the process. A lot of people, like music fans, don't realize all the work that goes into just
Yeah.
recording and putting out one song,
Yeah.
let alone a collection of 7 that
Yeah,
all kind of
exactly.
fit in with each other.
Yeah, and people don't understand like if like all my friends were outside the music industry, they're like, oh, you just put out a song and that's it, right? And I'm like, no, well, I mean, you write the song, you record the song, then you have to fine tune it. You go through like 5 revisions of that
At least,
one track
yeah.
at least, and then you put it out and you have to film content, you have to post for it, like all this. It's all this stuff, and it's this big production that people don't really understand unless you're actually involved in the industry.
Yeah, dude. There's so much like behind the curtain,
Yeah,
and that you're out here full time now.
I am. Yeah, I made it permanent in June.
So it's been about 6 months.
About 6
How you
months.
liking it, dog? Because you're from
I love
Cali,
it.
man. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit of a different world. It's like
Yeah.
I'm from New York. So again, different
Yeah,
type
yeah.
of thing coming to the South.
Yeah, it's definitely a big change. It's a lot colder here, I would say.
Dude, snow yesterday.
Yeah, so it was nuts.
That must have blown your mind being
Yeah.
a Cali boy.
It was sick for my dogs, especially because
Oh,
they've never been to the
nice.
snow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it started coming down, and they were like freaking out. I got some photos of them all like covered in white. It's hilarious. But,
That's
yeah.
awesome, man. Yeah, dude, the weather down here is about as bipolar as it gets.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it's
one
nuts.
day it'll be 80, you're throwing
Yeah.
around the football in Centennial Park and hitting the
Uh-huh.
bars. And then the next day you're like, I don't want to go outside.
Yeah.
It's windy, it's tornadoes, all kinds of shit, bro.
Yeah, it's nuts. I think the biggest change is I grew up pretty close to the beach. So,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I didn't really go that much because I always had my hands tied with everything I was doing. But it's definitely it's definitely a change of pace for me.
So you talk about having your hands tied with everything that you were doing.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing this music thing?
So it's coming up on 10 years. I started when I was 9 years old.
Holy cow.
Yeah, and so by age 11, I was playing dive bars and just cutting my teeth out there, and you know, I kind of just have been grinding it and writing as much music as I can, and I started putting out music at like age 14.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been a long time coming, and then I was also in sports full time
Yeah.
on top of it.
What were you balling at? What were you
So
playing?
I used to play ice hockey when I was
Ice hockey
growing
in
up.
California.
Uh-huh,
Okay.
uh-huh.
All right.
Yeah, and so I was playing ice hockey for a few years. I think like 5 or 6,
Nice.
maybe less. I don't know, but yeah. But then I got 3 concussions.
Oh.
So yes, basically I got a concussion, then I got 2 more concussions like a few months apart.
Ugh.
So it was not good. It was time for me to tap out. So,
Yeah, that'll put an end. That's what got me. I was playing football in high school.
Oh,
I
really?
had 2 my senior year. My mom was like, "Yeah, you're not even
Yeah.
gonna try to play D3 in
Yeah.
college, you know?"
Yeah, exactly. So you get it.
Yeah,
But,
dude.
Yeah. So basically, that's what was the catalyst for my music career, though, because I couldn't play sports for like a year and a half. So basically, after I couldn't play sports, I just started picking up music because it was either that or waste my time away playing video games, right? So
Yeah.
figured music was a little more productive, so just fell in love with it, and I mean, yeah, that's kind of as much as it hurt and sucked.
Bro,
that's what got me here,
everything
so.
happens for a reason, man.
Exactly.
Everything happens for a reason. Like
Yes, sir.
you playing those dive bars at 11 gets you ready for where you're at
Yeah.
right now, because that's where you go, and that's the best place to take in and
Exactly.
perform country music.
Yes,
Is
sir.
a dive bar with a bunch of blue collar folks. And you got
Hell
to do,
yeah.
what was it like being so young? I mean, even now you're young doing what you're doing, but
Yeah.
to get a start at that age? What was that all like?
It was funny because I mean, most of the places I would play, they would like hide me back in the kitchen, and then when it was my time to hop up on stage, they would just escort me out, and I'd get up on stage, do my thing, and then just like leave right after. So now that I'm older, I can like hang around a little bit after, and they just X my hands, and it's fine. But yeah, it was growing up. It was hilarious because
that's awesome.
They're like, "What the hell is this little kid doing up here?"
Yeah,
guitar was bigger than I was, and I was just up there doing my thing. So.
That's awesome. What kind of songs were you playing back then?
Honestly, I was just kind of playing, like I played a lot of the stuff I grew up on, like a lot of Eric Church, Toby Keith, and then I also tried to mix in some of like the, I don't know, like the Broadway songs you hear all the time, just like the fan favorites. So I definitely learned how to entertain a crowd at a young age and keep them excited and on their toes. So that's one thing that I value. I learned how to manage a crowd at a very young age. So I'm grateful that I
yeah, dude, it's important, man. There's so many people that have like, because you've had some good like social pop, and you know how to utilize all the different tools that are out there in 2024, which is great. You know, it's exhausting because it's like you just want to write songs and sing, and that used to be what you would do, and you do interviews like this and do fan club stuff and radio things and all of that. But now it's like you have to be like a full-time creator.
Yeah.
So to have that, but there's so many people that have that pop but have never been on a stage.
Yeah, exactly.
So for you to kind of do it where you start out on the stage
and then reverse.
Bro, but that to me is the best way to do it because you get your reps at such a young age, dog.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's, if I had to give a piece of advice to any young musicians that are like trying to start out and like do this path, I would say like cut your teeth at an early age, do all the work behind the scenes first off, and then once you're like, all right, I'm a very seasoned musician, I can do this, then you start posting it on social media, pushing yourself out. So then when people see you, they're like, all right, this guy's actually talented, he knows what he's doing. Because otherwise, like, all right, you can start posting on social media, then you go viral, and you're like, wait, but I've never played on a stage before, I don't know how to do this, right? So yeah, that's if I had to give a piece of advice to a musician, that would be it.
Yeah. What was it like doing the House of Blues back in Anaheim?
Oh, it was fun. Yeah, I'm actually going back. I'm playing there in like 2 weeks, so that'll be a fun time. But it's crazy because I've seen a bunch of my favorite artists.
Yeah, who were some of your? So if you're playing shows at 11, how old were you when you went to your first concert?
Oh shoot, let's see. I think I was about the same age.
Okay, so about that, like third, fourth grade, fifth grade, somewhere in there.
I think so. I think I was like 12 or 13 when I went to see my first concert.
Who was it?
Zach Brown Band.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, it was a fun time. I love them. I've seen them probably like 4 times, and they just crush every single time.
I think that's what draws people into country music is going to a country concert.
Yes.
That's what drew me in. My first show, I was 8 years old. I saw Tim McGraw in 2003.
Yeah.
And it was like pre-sobriety hoss cat Tim. It was when McGraw was. It was when McGraw was like walling, you know, like party wise, and it was fucking awesome, dude. But then like the camaraderie of just people at country shows, it's just there's nothing like it.
Yeah, it's nuts, and like even just the acts, I feel like it's very special because it's all live performances. Like you get into some of the other genres, they'll be lip syncing or just playing full tracks and then just like singing over that. But like, I mean, country is still just true and it's raw, and I just love it so much.
Yeah, and you've gotten to go out with guys like Kojo and Chris Jansen, and like those again, just guys that do it a special way on stage.
Yeah.
They've been doing it for a long time. What was that like?
I mean, it was definitely great being exposed to acts like that at a young age because I got to see them and kind of model my stage presence after theirs. And I was like, I mean, I've been watching Kojo for the longest time and just seeing him up there, just how he commands the crowd. It's nuts. Like he's probably one of my favorite performers. You know, and that's really how I've gotten to be so comfortable up on stage, is just watching other performers and being like, oh, so that's how you do that, right?
Yeah,
so,
dude. I mean, whether it's a small stage or now it's big stages for him, he is everywhere, man.
Yeah,
he is everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah,
it's crazy.
That dude's nuts, and his story is awesome.
Yeah, dude. That's what's so cool about like the guys and girls that have spent so much time grinding. Like, again, just years. He could have just stayed in Texas, but he got like the best deal possible when he came out here, you know, like people. I remember when that happened, and it was like That's like one of the like standards now is if you can get like the Kojo deal or do it the Kojo way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Exactly.
where was that where you played with him?
That was at this festival called Subaru Freedom Fest.
Subaru, that sounds like a West Coast thing.
Yeah, it is. It is. It was literally right on the water. I think it was like a couple 100 feet away from the water, and it was just like this big music festival that they put on. And it was a fun time. Yeah, it was like I think Kojo was there, Adam Doliak was there. I'm blanking on who else, but there was a bunch of big artists there, so it was a fun time. They put me on the main stage, and I was
wow,
I was like 13 or something.
You're like, what am I doing on this?
Yeah, I was like I don't know what I'm doing here, but so I mean I got up there, I played for like 6 songs and just did my thing. I ended up getting on TV, which was pretty cool. All my friends are calling me up.
Wow,
they're like, dude, you're on TV.
There's some street cred.
Yeah,
there's some local boy street cred.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, but yeah, so.
How is it now being out here and your boys being back in Cali? Like, is it tough to stay in touch with everybody, or what's that been like?
You definitely got to put in extra work to stay in touch with people. I mean, like I like to think I'm still close with all my boys. I mean, I go back every now and again and see them, and we hang out, and it's just like old times. But yeah, it's definitely a little bit harder to keep that connection. But I mean, like I've managed to stay in touch for the most part, and I've made friends out here too. So it's cool to have both groups. I mean, I got my friends from back home, and then I got my buddies out here, and then I got my music friends out here. So it's fun.
It's important to have friends outside of music. You know, it's great
100%.
to have buddies that you write with, especially at your age, having guys that mentor you, which we'll get to in a sec because there's a long list of guys that I'm sure you've met out here, but like. Keeping the group chat going or hopping on Fortnite or Call of Duty or something with your buddies. Like, it's so important to have that because you get caught up in like this Nashville bubble, you know? And it took me a while to understand that. You just hit 6 months. I just hit 6 years, you know? And it's like, you have to keep in touch with the people back home. And it seems like you got a very supportive family too, man.
Do, yeah.
Shout out to Pops over there.
Yeah, shout out Pops. Yeah, he's been great with this whole process, just helped me through it. I mean, he's like, when I got into it, he started learning about the industry.
Yeah.
And he's been a great help. So
yeah, dude. I mean, if you were going and doing shows at 11, like they've been supportive of that, man. It's not much different than being like a dad or a mom of an athlete, you know, where it's like you're on travel team and you're going. It's just instead of your games, you're playing shows.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of being in a rink or on a field, they're in a dive bar.
Yeah, they're in a dive bar. What a concept, man. That's sick, man. Talk a little bit more about your family, man. What was it like growing up in Cali with the family?
So I have 2 older sisters. One is 10 years older than me, and then one is 2 years older than me. So it was fun. I mean, I was always the baby, so I kind of got bullied a little bit, but
baby boy.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good time. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, it was awesome. I'm really tight with my sister still. Actually, my oldest one just had a baby.
Oh, so now your uncle.
Yeah, I'm an uncle. It's weird.
Tim.
It's such a weird thing because I mean, I've never like held that like small of a human before.
Yeah.
Like I held her the first day she was born.
Wow.
So I mean, like it was nuts. I was so scared. I was freaking out. I was like,
don't drop her.
Her whole life is in my hands. Like
literally.
I was freaking out. But I mean, we got through it. Now I'm more comfortable. But I've been posting her on social media a little bit, and yeah, she's a sweetheart. Her nickname's Peanuts.
Peanuts.
Yeah, she's just a little tiny.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's so cool, dude.
Yes, sir.
It's crazy just watching life kind of evolve around you because it's like you're dialed in with what you've got going on with this record and just your career, but then just watching like your family grow too, man.
Yeah. It's been crazy. I mean, I have a pretty big family, I would say. So my basically, it's my family, and then I guess I have. So my dad, it's my dad, and then my aunt, and I have 2 other aunts that are in like our kind of
in the core.
Yeah, in the core. So yeah, it's fun to have
and
a
then
big
and then cousins too.
Yeah,
lots of cousins.
I have a bunch of cousins. Yeah, so that was definitely fun. It was nuts, and they grew up living like 2 hours away from me, so I didn't get to see them that much, but I mean it was fun. Like I would drive down and go see him every now and again. And I mean, we would go out and go surfing and stuff.
Yeah, the
My uncle's
Cali shit, dude.
Yeah, the
Cali shit.
Yeah, my uncle's a big surfer and skater, so
Nice.
growing up, he would always take us out. I was never good, but I mean,
But you just do it.
yeah, I had fun like going out there and trying my best.
You're like,
so.
I'm gonna skate on the ice,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
on the board.
yeah.
I'm not gonna be longboarding. Let's go to the rink. I'll
Yes,
show
sir.
you what real skating
Yes,
is.
sir.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Have you been to a Predators game since you've been out
I
here?
haven't. No, I'm a Preds fan. Like I watch the games and stuff, but I mean, I haven't gotten the chance to.
Dude,
actually be in
they're
person.
fucking electric.
I've
dog.
heard that.
They are electric.
I want to go so bad. That's like on my bucket list, like since I've moved here, but I just haven't.
Yeah,
gotten the
dude,
chance.
it's fun too because like the fans aren't like jerk offs, you know, like
yeah.
because it's like I'm from New York, so like us, New York, Philly, Boston, we all kind of like butt heads a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
The Nashville fans are just passionate, and
Hell yeah.
when there's like the chants, since a lot of people are in music, it might be because everybody's in music, but it's like all the chants are in unison, where it's almost like a soccer game.
Yeah.
So it's just fucking loud and
Yes,
electric,
sir.
and the team's physical, which just makes it
Yeah.
more fun, man.
Hell yeah.
What could-
That was
yeah,
my favorite part about watching
That-
hockey growing
yeah.
up was watching them beat the shit out of each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah. What kind of hockey player were like? Where were you on the ice and stuff?
So I played a few different positions. I played defense for a while, like for the first probably 4 years of my
Yeah.
career, and then I switched to right wing. So yeah, it was. I mean, I was pretty good, but I was always undersized, so I kind of got like.
Yeah, but that means you can go. You can usually go a little bit faster.
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
sneak by those big guys.
I was pretty fast. I just like, yeah. There was definitely some bigger dudes who would knock me around a little bit, and I was always. I mean, I was playing up, so I was like I would go to these clinics with these guys that were in high school when I was like still in middle school, right? And I would just get the shit rocked.
Do you have
out
any
of me,
good
but
chirps?
Not really. I never.
Because I know that's like part of like the hockey bro culture.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. I kind of never really was into that. I kind of like to let my game speak for me.
There
And
you
that's,
go.
That's
Hey,
how I,
that's a pro move right
that's,
there.
I
That's
don't
pro move.
like the guys who talk loud and swing a small stick.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'd rather just keep my mouth shut and let my game talk
Yeah.
for me, and that's how I treat pretty much all aspects of life. So.
Yeah, dude. That seems like that's how you've treated music, man.
Yes, sir.
And it's working out well for you, man.
Yeah.
You do your talking in the writing room
Yes,
and
sir.
through the songs. And so going back to this project, what was it like? Obviously, you've done a lot of singles and you've been pushing for quite a while now. But
Yes,
now
sir.
to have this like full project, was it different recording like a body of work, or did you not know if you'd package all these together? Or
Yeah, so we when we recorded the first 2 tracks, we weren't sure if we were going to do a full project or not. And then once I'd been writing like 4 times a week, so we were just getting a bunch of songs come in, and we're like, damn, well, we got a ton of good music. So we kind of were just like, all right, well, we're going to do an album. I mean, I'm picking up steam on social, so might as well, right? So we kind of just I started writing for that and ended up capping it off, and you know, I kind of lost my train of thought there, but I don't know.
like being in the studio, what was it? Was it
Oh,
all with
yeah.
was it all with the same producer and
It
stuff?
was, yes, it was all with the same producer. His name's Matt McVaney.
Oh, dude, I love
Yeah.
McVie, bro.
Yeah, McVie.
I love McVie. I had
Yes,
fun
sir.
with him. When I used to be on the road with Trey Lewis back in the
Mm-hmm.
day, and we did a summer with Kid Rock, and
Oh,
we
yeah.
brought some writers out on the bus for the Kid Rock tour, and McVie was one of those guys.
Yeah,
And we had a ball with him. We took him up to the Northeast, and
Hell yeah.
it was Matt McVaney, John Pierce, and Adam Craig, and then
Uh-huh.
me, Trey, and our bus driver Bobby Lee. Which you'll learn as you grow. Bus drivers are some of the craziest, most interesting individuals. Bobby Lee was quite the character, but McVie's the man, dude.
Yeah, he is.
And he's so good at finding an artist's sound and
Oh, he
that
is, yeah.
attention to detail and just growing with you, man.
Yeah, he's been such a good help. Like he completely brought these tracks to life, and just some of the input he had. Like some of the tracks, like if you were to hear the work tape versus the final track, you'd be like, well, how the hell did that happen,
Yeah.
right? And he was a big part of that. So shout out McVie. He doesn't have social media, so
Yeah, right. He's like some of these producers, man. They just live in the studio, man.
yeah, he's kind of he got off social media a while back, and he's I mean, he's like, I'm happier off it. I
Yeah.
don't really like it, so I mean, props to him for being able to get out of that, right?
Yeah.
So.
What's it like being the young kid in the room, like writing with some of the guys and girls that you've gotten to write with and create with and that have kind of helped you get your reps, you know?
Yeah. It's definitely, you kind of got to prove yourself. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, most of the time you walk in there and people are like, all right, who the hell is this 18-year-old kid in the room with me, right?
Yeah.
But so you kind of, once we start going and I show them that I'm not just like some random kid who doesn't know what the hell they're doing, then they're kind of like, you basically have to earn their respect before you can, I don't know. Yeah, so that's definitely been one of my biggest things, is just always coming into writer rooms full of ideas and just being ready to prove myself, you know?
Yeah, it's again goes back to the athlete mentality.
Yes, sir.
Where it's you go and you prove yourself, man. Like you're trying out for that travel team. You're getting ready for this player showcase, and now you're getting to do it through music, man.
Yes, sir.
Which is what, again, like you look at so many guys that came up that were athletes.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, there's a ton of guys, especially like guys who were playing sports and then they got injured.
Yeah, one of my favorite stories was, and I got to do an interview with him when I was in college, and he came to, I don't know why he came to my college, but he did, was Brett Young. And it was, again, another California guy, and he was playing at Fresno State, and he got hurt. He got drafted by, at the time, the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, and then he had arm surgery, whatever, and he picked up a guitar and started doing music. And at that point, he was doing a lot of Gavin DeGraw covers, hadn't really had many originals, and then he signed with Big Machine not too long after that, you know? So it's like, it's, again, that mentality of, like, working hard at something and dedicating and putting the effort in, like you do on the field or on the ice, like it translates over to music pretty nicely.
Yeah, Brett is actually a big reason of why I started coming out here.
Really?
Yeah, so my guitar teacher back in California, who's actually my guitarist out here now, he's going to be playing at my tomorrow night.
Hell yeah, dude, which we're very excited about that.
Yeah. He shreds, but so he was teaching me guitar back in California, and basically I was covering a Brett Young song. And so...
Which one?
I want to say it was In Case You Didn't Know.
Okay, yeah.
I think.
One of the big ones, yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the big ones. And it was right like after he had like 5 go number 1, right?
Yeah.
In that short amount of time. So he was popping off, and basically my guitar teacher sent a video of me playing that song to Brett Young's guitarist, who he was buddies with. His guitarist showed it to Brett. Brett's like, all right, this kid's cool. Turned around, showed it to Jimmy Harnon over at Big Machine.
Yeah.
And then basically, I mean, we started meeting with them and coming out here. And I mean, I was like 12 or something at the time, so we didn't end up going that route. It was too early for all that. But I mean, up until that point, I kind of didn't really think I could make a career out of this whole thing. I was kind of just doing it for fun. I was like, well, it's a good time. The girls like it. Might as well do it, right? So
that's a big part of it.
Yeah, but then once that happened, I mean, I was like, dang, I can really do this with my life. So I kind of started going full throttle from that point, and I mean, it led me here. So
that's awesome, man. Yeah. That's sick.
Shout out Brett Young.
Yeah, shout out Brett. Been a long time. I think last time I saw him was back in New Jersey, and it was years ago. But yeah, I mean, you talk about now having a team around you, having management, having a label behind you. With you were talking about Jimmy Harnon. Now you've got another Jim in your life, right?
Yes, sir. Jim Catino.
Oh, Catino, man. You talk about just a legend.
Hell yeah.
Catino.
Him and his dad. Like, that family has got a lot of history in this town. Very respected. Yeah.
They do. And you're working with our buddy Joe, too.
I am. Yep. Joe Barrick.
Joe is the man. Love Joe. We've known him through Raise Rowdy for years, man. Yeah. He's like OG family.
Yes, sir.
Which is really cool. So what's it like now? And you have booking over with our friends at WME, which is sick too. So what's it like from years of like your parents driving you to gigs and all of that to now having a team around you?
Yeah, it's honestly been crazy just because it happened so fast. Like, I mean, when I moved out here, I was signed with Jim Catino over at Drop Time. So I'd signed with them back in January, but then I kind of hadn't had anything else happen. And then so I moved out here, and like meetings just started popping up, and I ended up signing with Joe like probably a few weeks after I moved out here, and then WME came I think like a month ago. So it's all moved really fast, and I'm really grateful for it. But yeah, it's been crazy. Like, yeah, I don't even know. It's a lot to wrap your head around that
Yeah.
you just like.
And it's tough to think about it as it's happening.
Uh-huh.
You know, like you're in the moment of it's still happening right now.
Yeah.
Like all of that stuff within this year, to dropping your first full length record, to all these opportunities, and it's like, if that was this year, what the hell's next year going to be like?
Yeah, exactly. That's the big thing, is like it's hard to imagine the future when it's so unpredictable. Like if you're in an industry like the music industry, and you're just like, all right, well, things could change overnight, and you could be the next biggest artist in the world, which is the awesome thing about social media, because like, I mean, as much of a pain in the ass it is, it's also like it can change your life like that. So
yeah, when did you really start seeing that stuff pop on Instagram and TikTok and everything?
I would say in springtime of this year. So I wasn't. I'd been posting on social media, but it wasn't really like taking off or doing anything crazy. And then I had my first, I guess, like viral post. I think, it was like late spring.
Yeah.
And it was my first post that I'd had hit 1 million views, and then
it's a cool feeling, isn't it?
It is a cool feeling. I was like, damn, this is nuts. Like
1 million people? That's a lot of freaking people.
Exactly. And then so like, I mean, after that, my followers just started growing pretty fast, and I hit 10K, I think, like right before I moved out here.
And then, now you're almost at like 60.
Yeah. So it's crazy how fast things have changed, and it's definitely weird trying to wrap my head around it all. But I mean, yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah. What are the comments like? Do you take the time to? I know there's a lot of them on certain posts where it just. And it's crazy to wrap your head around that. It's like it's people from all over the world.
Exactly. Yeah, I try to respond to as much as I can. It's definitely gotten to be a lot, but I mean, I still try to stay connected with my fans whenever I can. So I mean, responding to comments and DMs, and kind of just wherever I can talk to them and show them appreciation, you know?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's definitely, it's gotten to be a lot, especially like I did this one post a while back, and it was basically, I was saying like, congrats, you just found in like a country artist who's still small enough to respond to every comment. And then basically I ended up getting like, it's up to like 5,000 comments now.
Oh shit.
And so I'm like still having to respond to all these comments. And I'm like, shit, why did I do that? But I mean, it's definitely, my view on it is, if people are taking the time out of their day to like give words of encouragement on your posts, like the least you could do is respond to them and show that appreciation back. So
yeah, dude, absolutely. And that's something that country music and country artists and folks in this industry do so well.
Yeah,
the fans feel so connected, man. And it's a lot of it has to do with the relatability, you know, like
100%.
People are seeing this young kid that they relate to, and your songs speak to them, dude. Is there one song in particular that's gotten the most traction for you, where it's like lead you to where you're at?
Yeah, so Bulletproof is my biggest song to date, and that one is that's kind of the reason I was able to like move out here and start doing this thing, is because that song started picking up pretty well and doing well on social media and all that stuff. And actually recently I've had one of the songs that's on the upcoming album, it's called I've Known Better, and like I think so the most videos I've had made with one of my sounds is like 1,300 or something, and this song I've Known Better isn't even out yet, and it's about to pass that. So it's crazy. This song, like, it's shout out to all my fans out there who are making videos with the song. Yeah. Because it's like nuts. Like it's the sound has only been up for like a week and a half, and it's already up to like 13K videos, which blows my mind. So
that's nuts.
It is nuts. Like I woke up one morning and I was like, damn, that's moving pretty fast. And then like, yeah, it's just exploded. So yeah.
Yeah, that is crazy. What do the videos look like? Is it just people doing stuff to the sound? Or?
Yeah, pretty much.
Because talk about the song a little bit.
Yeah, so the opening line of the song is, she's got a cross around her neck, got $1 million smile, got that Barbie silhouette, got them legs that go for miles.
Oh, yeah, the TikTok girls are eating that up, boy.
They eat it up,
yeah.
So it's a lot of girls with just, I mean, cross necklace, and they're just lip singing to the song. So, I mean, it's cool. It's really cool. I've never had something like that where the fans are really connected to a song like that. So,
yeah, and that's the first of many, bro.
Yeah,
that's the sign, man. No, dude, honestly, it's usually if you're getting that and the song's not even out yet, dog.
Yeah,
and then you got 6 other songs to go with it.
Yeah,
for them to jump on.
Yes, sir.
Everything happens for a reason, man. Like we were talking about earlier, and it's like it's all the stars are aligning, man.
Mm-hmm.
So what have you got planned for next year? Like, what can you talk about of what you got? Now you got booking, you got records, you got management.
Yeah, so we're kind of, I don't know what can I talk about like whatever? Sure. All right, I guess it's fine. So so we have some big plans for music dropping. Some collabs are in the future.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, some more another project I'm planning on putting out in 2025. So, yeah, there's a lot to look forward to. And then I'm gonna be having a lot more show dates. I know some people were kind of sad that I wasn't able to make it out to their city or something like that. So,
yeah.
I'm excited.
Have you been out a lot this year?
I've been out a decent amount. I mean, I signed with WME pretty late in the season, so it was kind of it was kind of just like shotgun dates where they would just be like, "Oh, so and so needs a opener for this weekend."
So who were some of those folks?
So like, I opened for Dylan Scott. Let's see, Ashley Cook.
Oh, nice.
Creed Fisher. Who else? I opened for Lee Greenwood.
Nice. So a spectrum of all different, all different kinds of crowds, because the Lee Greenwood crowd and the Ashley Cook crowd look very different.
Yeah, very different. So I mean, it was fun to test out and see who I like connected well, like demographically speaking, and you know, it was fun. And
where do you think you connected the best?
I would say Dylan Scott's show. That was out in Ohio.
Dude, Ohio goes fucking hard, dude.
Blast.
Ohio folks love their country music.
Yes, they do. It was so much fun, and I mean, like, it was the crowd reaction was just like the biggest I'd ever.
Where was the show?
It was at Athens, Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was like a couple thousand seat venue. And it was like the first time I had played like a theater like that, right?
Yeah. Theaters are different vibes. You never know what you're going to get. If the crowd's going to be standing, if they're going to be sitting, if it's more laid back or it's a little rowdy, like you never know what you're going to get in a theater.
Yeah, and it was nuts because like I had people like in the audience with like pictures of my face on like
a
sheet of paper and stuff, and like it was crazy. Like I ended up giving a girl like a tattoo of my signature like after the show.
Dude, you're already signing your first tattoos.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It was nuts. So
Hell
it was definitely a fun time. Yeah, that was probably the highlight of my fall touring schedule. So,
That's fucking awesome, man.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, where do you think you kind of fit in within country music? Because it's like your sound, you're blending, you're bringing like that Cali kind of vibe, man, where it's like easy listening, similar to what Brett does, you know, where it fits in that. But then your songwriting, you're talking about like these deeper topics at a young age. Like, where do you think you kind of fit in?
Yeah, so I like to say that my music is just a blend of what I grew up listening to. You know, like my music taste is so across the board. Like, so, I mean, like I kind of just write the music that feels true to my heart. And I mean, if the people like it, they like it. And if they don't, then oh well. But yeah, so I tend to lean towards a more edgier kind of rocky sound. So I like to say I have two facets. I have like more of a rock sound, and then I also have more of like kind of a pop leaning country sound. So yeah, that's kind of the two sides of it. And I think in the album it's split down the middle. So I have 4 of each, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
so,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So what, as far as rock stuff, what kind of rock songs were you growing up on, or what rock music?
So I love AC/DC.
Hell yeah.
Green Day. Those are probably my top 2. I love Led Zeppelin as well.
So like the classic rock.
Yeah.
Hell yeah! Shout out to that's got to be a dad influence.
Oh,
so shout
Pops
out to
grew up on all
shout
that
out
stuff.
to Pops getting Timmy growing up on the Led Zeppelin and the AC/DC.
Yes,
did you see AC/DC just announced a tour for next year?
Yeah, I did.
And they're coming to Nissan, which is sick. Like those guys, they're like what, like 70, 80 years old,
like that,
and they're still fucking going.
Still going.
Isn't it crazy?
That's how I'm trying to be.
That's how you're trying to be. Hey, you got a long way to go, man. If you can span, you can span 6-7 decades, man. Mm-hmm. Like it's crazy.
It's absolutely nuts. Yeah.
It's wild. Yeah, and it's like the rock side of things is coming back, which is really cool too.
I love it. Like I love it when. Yeah, I mean, I just think it's great. Like all they got, like, I mean, you see guys like Bailey Zimmerman who are kind of doing it. Hardy's doing it awesome with like some of the metal stuff he's putting out. And, I mean, I think it's awesome.
It's fun. Yeah, you like you kind of have like and I'm not just saying it because of like the hair, but like you have like because I remember meeting Bailey when he first got to town, and again he was like we were talking about earlier how like kids don't know how to be on a stage right away, but like then they get thrown into these tours and they have to kind of learn as they go. But you've already gotten those reps. That was like the situation that he was in. You know, like his first time performing in front of anybody was at Live Oak.
Yeah.
At one of our events, which is crazy. Like his first time performing was a writer's round. You know, so it's like it's crazy. Like the class that you're kind of coming up with of kids that have moved here and all of that. Have you gotten to meet like other kids that have just kind of gotten to town and stuff?
Yeah, I've gotten to meet a couple. I hadn't before I moved out here, so like
it's
cool.
tough. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
You're meeting people that your team is kind of introducing you to, but then when you're out here, you're getting to see other kids at rounds and folks like that.
Yeah, so it's one of my he's gotten to be one of my best buddies is Caden Wallace.
Oh hell yeah.
So he's I mean like we literally just met like a few weeks ago. We just like got a right set up and we were just like, hey, let's just kick it and write a song and see what happens. And I mean we just hit it off, so now we've been hanging out a bunch and he's got to be one of my best buds. You know, like my one of my other good friends, Clayton Mullen.
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah. From Texas.
Yeah. Yes, sir. He's one of my best buds. Actually, he's dating my babysitter growing up.
Oh, no shit.
Yes. So
how the hell does that happen?
Basically, they both went to TCU and met there, and then he moved out here, started doing music. She's like, "Hey, you got to meet my boyfriend." I was like, "All right, cool." So I mean, I met him, and we just like started hanging out, started writing, and now we're best buds. And I mean, yeah, it's fun. We just had like a Friendsgiving dinner with them the other day.
That's awesome, man. That's it's crazy how small the world is.
It's nuts. Like, yeah, it's definitely been great to have them out here. Like it's like a little piece of home, just like moved out here with me. So that's
awesome, man. That's so cool. Yeah, and you're gonna meet more folks like as within like 6 months, and you kind of go through chapters and evolve as you're out here.
Yes,
and
sir.
It's like you're in chapter 1 right now of what's gonna be a long freaking book.
Yeah.
So it's exciting. But what are some goals that you kind of set for yourself this year? Like, I feel like you had to have hit quite a few of them.
Yeah, so I actually had a goal that I made last December to hit 10K by this December on Instagram. Oh, shit.
Yeah, you passed that pretty good.
So that was one of my biggest ones that I was like blown away by. And then I also had a goal to get on the Stagecoach roster for this coming year. Didn't work out, but it's okay. We'll shoot for the next one after that.
Yeah.
But and I don't know. I had a goal to just what was my other goal? I forget. I'm blanking, but I mean the biggest like goal that I had for this year was just to grow as much as possible. And I think I've surpassed my expectations of what I thought that was going to look like. So I'd say I'm pretty content going into 2025 with where I'm at. So
yeah, that's awesome, man. And now it's crazy that this year's already come and gone.
Yeah, it's nuts. It feels like it just.
And as you get older, it's going to go faster. As your dad, I'm sure. I'm starting to feel. I'll be 30. I'll be 30 next month, and I'm like,
happy birthday!
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. And I feel old. It's like you listen to the Tim McGraw song, like my next 30 years. Yeah. It's like, oh fuck, I'm there. I'm there. But it's crazy, like how just fast it all goes. But it seems like you have taken the time to like absorb and appreciate and feel that gratitude for where you're at, man.
I'm trying to. Yes, sir. I'm trying to just take a second every now and again and just look around and be like, as much as it's so easy to just like be unhappy with where you are in life.
It's so easy to complain about shit, dude.
It's so easy to complain. You're like, why is this person having more traction than me right now? Like, why is this post flopping or something? But then you got to just look around and be like, all right, compared to where I was last year, I'm doing pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be grateful for where you're at. So.
You got to have like your blinders on. It's like, it's like, I like to equate it to like a horse running a race, you know, like you got to have your team that helps you kind of dial in and block out that other stuff. So, like, and then when you're focused on just running that race, man, you're just all balls to the wall and going, and you're just going. So 2025, we're looking at more stuff coming out.
Yes, sir.
And more shows.
Yes, sir.
And just growing on what has been the biggest year of your career.
Yes, sir. It's pretty much.
It's fucking awesome. How often do you get back to California? Have you gone back at all?
I went back. I've been back twice since I moved. I went for 4th of July.
Okay.
It's always 4th of July back in my hometown is awesome. I mean, we have like this parade that happens, and it was fun to see all my friends and stuff.
You're smart for getting out of here 4th of July. 4th of July here's fucking nuts.
Really?
Oh, yeah, dude. 4th of July, New Year's Eve, and CMA Fest. And I guess you could throw St. Patty's Day on there, too, because that's around like Big Ten spring break.
Yeah,
so all the Midwestern schools come here for spring break instead of going to Florida or wherever. So it's like 4th of July here, there's like millions of people.
Oh,
and it's just chaos. So you having a spot, that's a good time to like kind of sneak away out of town.
Sir.
That's awesome. What was the other time?
So I went back. It was just to check in. I'm still in school, so I kind of just went back to see some.
You're still in school.
I'm still in school.
What level?
I'm a senior in high school.
No shit.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I did not.
I try. Like I don't talk about it too much.
No, because
like,
it's like personal life and music life are
yeah.
different.
Yeah, but I'm still taking online school, so I mean it's
the power of COVID, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
You could do it
opened the
virtually
doors for a lot of things. So yeah, but I have closing out the semester right now, and then yeah, I go back every now and again just to check in and say what's up. But for the most part, I just do my work. And
dude, that's wild,
sir.
That's wild. And it's like instead of like going off to college, you're getting an education of music by literally doing it.
Yeah, which is, I mean, I think the best way to learn about stuff is just to be in it, right? But yeah, I think I want to go and take some music business classes and just kind of grow my knowledge next year. Like it'll probably be online, but just so I'm educated and know how to carry myself in this industry, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah, to be doing that in high school, it's like, but it's like in a way you've graduated, like it's like you're doing like a college semester of music. You've been here about 6 months. That's like a semester of college where you move away. It's like it's literally like moving to Nashville is like college, man.
Yeah.
It is. You meet all these new friends. Your classes are being in the writing room and being in the studio and taking these meetings.
Yes, sir.
And then the next step will be like your sophomore year.
Yeah, I've definitely learned a lot. That's a good way of putting it. It's been a lot of trial and errors. I mean, on all fronts. In the songwriting, I'm learning so much from the guys I'm in these rooms with. I've been really fortunate to get rooms with like some really awesome writers. So.
Who have been some of your favorites?
Some of my favorite writers. Let's see, Russell Sutton.
Oh, dude, Russell's he's man.
Awesome.
My boy is a song that just like blows my mind.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
love Russell.
I love Dave Fenley.
Oh, dude, yeah, Dave Fenley. It's funny Dave Fenley story. I have a shirt that's like a Dave Fenley shirt that I found at Goodwill, and it's got like his face on it. Yeah, and it's got his face on it, and it's like his whatever, like that bash that he does in Texas, like the Memorial Day bash or something when he goes home to Texas, and that's like we go to a lot of festivals with Ray's Rowdy and help MC him and do all this stuff. But when we're at these festivals, my day one festival shirt, every festival I go to is my Dave Fenley shirt.
That's awesome.
I always rock Dave Fenley, man. That dude, we're Dave Fenley super fans at Ray's Rowdy.
Hell yeah.
We fucking love
dude,
him. Nobody can sing like Dave Fenley.
He's one of my favorite like people that I've ever met here. I've only hung out with him one time, and it was when we wrote a song. And I kid you not, I was like, "Hey, I think this chord progression is pretty cool." And I played it for him, and he's like, "Play that again." And then so I did it, and he just spit out this beautiful melody, and we ended up writing the whole song off that melody that he just did a one take on. And I'm like, "What is this? Like, this guy's not real."
Yeah, he's just
like,
big jolly dude.
Yeah, he's crazy. Yeah, but.
Yeah. If you're in the room with Russell and Dave, those are some good rooms to be getting in. Bud.
Oh yeah,
that's
yes,
awesome.
Sir.
So what do you like doing when you're not doing music?
I've been picking up golf lately.
Okay.
And I've been trying to get out and golf a ton.
A little tougher this time of year with the cold.
Oh yeah. We tried golf, and we were just out in Texas for Thanksgiving, and it's nowhere near as cold as it is out here, but I mean it's still pretty cold, and yeah, it was not good. I didn't play well at all. I was like couldn't even move my
There's
body,
a lot of courses out here though, and there's a lot of like courses that are very fucking affordable.
Yeah.
Like you can get on and play 18 with a cart for like $30.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, I like during this summer when my buddies didn't have anything, we would just go out and just play a quick 9 or
That's
18
awesome.
and have a good time. Yeah, it's definitely been fun. I mean, I just picked it up 7 months ago, I think, something like that is when I really started getting into it. So I'm not great, but I'm like
Yeah.
I'm sitting around like a 16, 17 handicap. Maybe
That's
18,
good.
so.
That's good. If you're already keeping track of that stuff, that's
Yes,
great.
sir. I try to
That's-
get better.
That's good, man. Yeah, I got to take you to Pebblebrook. It's this golf
Mm-hmm.
course. It's just an adventure because it's like in the mountains, like north
Yeah.
of town.
Uh-huh.
And there's nobody ever there. The court, sometimes there's more sand on the green than in the sand trap, but it's like there's like 5 minutes in between each hole when you're on the golf cart. Like you go through like tunnels
Are you
and like,
serious?
oh dude, you're like hitting off cliffs and shit, bro. It's wild.
That's
I
sick.
go there with my buddy Ike, who does all of our photo and video stuff with Raised Rowdy, and
Uh-huh.
it's always a trip. So we'll
Dude,
get
I'd
you.
love to go.
We'll hit the links in the spring when it warms up
That'd
a
be
little bit for
badass.
sure, dude. No,
Hell yeah.
we'll absolutely do that.
Sir.
That'd be a ball. So golf, and then what
Uh-huh.
else?
I mean, most of the time I'm like when I have some free time on my hands, I just like to sit by myself and write music, or I'll hang out with some buddies or hang out with my family, work out, hang out with my dogs. I got 3 dogs, so
Yeah.
I love to.
What kind of dogs you got?
I got 2 Goldens and then a Dachshund Min Pin mix.
Wow,
Yes.
that seems like an interesting dog. What's the dachshund's name?
Her name's Daisy, and
Okay.
so I can't really call her a true Dachshund Min Pin mix because we don't really know what she is.
Okay.
My sister got her for like, I think it was like $15 from like a crack house. in,
Oh,
like,
so you just
LA.
acquired. So that dog's gone from out there. That dog's lived some life.
Yeah, she has, and yeah, she's a sweetheart. She's a loudmouth, but she's sweet.
Okay, the little ones usually are,
Oh yeah, and
and the Goldens just kind of chill.
yeah, they're so chill. I mean, one of them's still a puppy, so she's still got that puppy energy. She'll like
Nice.
jump on you if you walk in the door and stuff. But I mean, for the most part, she's a sweetie. And then we got one boy dog. His name's Nash, actually. So
Nice, very fitting.
yeah, very fitting. So yeah, he's the most loving dog I've ever had. So
That's
yeah,
awesome,
can't
man.
complain.
That's awesome, buddy. Well, Devils and Angels, man. So excited for you that this project's out
Sir.
and that it's all going and that like sky's the limit, man. I can't wait to like check in and see where you're at like a year from now.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, like it's wild, buddy. And congrats on just everything, dog. And I'm
Appreciate
excited
it.
for tomorrow night. We got
Yes, sir.
Kelby Ray joining you too, man.
Hell yeah.
How have you gotten to know how is that relationship with him and everything?
Yeah, so I
Sounds
mean,
like he's excited, bro.
yeah, I'm really excited. It's gonna be a good time. I mean, we kind of just through Joe is how we know one another. So
Yeah.
I mean, we've never rehearsed the song that we're doing. He's hopping on and playing my song Bulletproof,
Hell yeah.
which is what I'm closing out the set with tomorrow. So
Hell yeah.
he's gonna hop on. We've never rehearsed it with him, but I mean, he's just gonna come up with us and do his thing. So
Hell yeah.
Yes,
That'll
sir.
be sick, man. Yeah, he's a legend, Cadillac 3.
oh
like,
yeah, oh yeah,
It'll be sick, man. And we're super stoked to have the full band thing tomorrow
Yes,
and
sir.
to be helping out with the release week and all of that, man. And
yeah.
it's
Thank
just
y'all so much.
dude, absolutely, man. And we're happy to have you as one of the youngest members of our Raised Rowdy family, man.
Yes, sir.
we love having you. And if you're free next week, we're doing our Christmas party.
Oh, hell yeah.
Monday night at the Rusty Nail.
Sounds good.
It's karaoke.
Oh, I
and
love
just
the
crazy.
Rusty Nail. I've been there. That's with the beach volleyball courts.
Oh,
out back,
dude,
right?
yeah, it's a degenerate little spot where
Yes, sir.
beers are like $3, and we do karaoke, and we're dressing our. Last year, Nikki T dressed up as Santa. This year, we're doing our sound guy Teddy, who you'll see tomorrow at Duck Blind. We're dressing him up as Santa this year, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's a fun like way to close out the year, and we like doing it over there because it's. Not like we're not super like fancy people, you know.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the Nail is like a come one, come all,
Yes,
like
sir.
hang out. So yeah, feel free to come, bring whoever.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be a blast.
Might
So-
see me there.
Oh, dude, we would love to have you there.
Sure.
But Timmy, my man, congrats on
Yes, sir.
everything. And where
Appreciate
can
it,
where
brother.
can people go to find you if they're not following you already?
If you're not following me already, it's at Timmy McKeever Music on all platforms. So go check me out and give me a follow.
Hell
Yes, sir.
yeah. Well, Timmy, thank you for joining us.
Yes,
Shout out
sir.
to our
Thank you.
friends from Surfside. When you turn 21, we'll throw you we'll get it on camera so it's official. When you turn 21, we will throw you, for the record, that can was not opened.
Yep.
It is there for
It's
product
closed.
placement
It's
purely. It
sealed.
is closed. We're not doing anything wrong.
We're not drinking.
But when you turn 21, if you want, we'll have you take a break from playing arenas and amphitheaters like you will be in 2 years when you are 21, and we'll throw you a 21st birthday party,
Sounds
a Raised
good.
Rowdy Timmy
Hell
birthday
yeah.
party with Surfside if they're
With
still with Surfside, who we love very much. Vodka lemonade, vodka iced tea. Go check them out wherever you get your booze, and be sure to check out our boy Timmy McKeever, Devils and Angels. It is out now. Y'all be sure to go enjoy this record. We love it here at Raised Rowdy, and you guys will too. And give Timmy a follow if you're not following him already. So So for more on us, visit raisedrowdy.com. For my man Timmy, I'm Matt Burrill. This has been Outside the Round.